Lady and gentlemen, boys and girl, welcome to the BDMMA channel. I did start a Teespring today, or I attempted to. I don't think it's going to pop up under the video. It says it takes a couple of days, but YouTube also told me they're shutting off the faucet. They're going to demonetize completely, which means Patreon will be next. The censorship is so out of control. Their reasoning, by the way, was lack of information. So I'm going to do a quick preview, talk a little bit of technique here in the fights. Hopefully you know what these odds mean. I'm just going to post them just for perspective. There's maybe one I'll do commentary on. They tend to be fairly even. There's a couple that are high. So Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington. I don't know that people are behind Usman as much as they might be anti-Colby because they just straight don't get the gimmick at all. I get it. But if you look just at these stats that I found, they're I mean, virtually identical. I don't know. I don't really know who I like better. I think Usman is stronger, more explosive, more athletic, and I can't see Colby doing to Tyron what Usman did. I can't. And for that alone, I tend to favor Usman, but would I be surprised if Colby won it all? No, because if he's right up in Kamaru's grill constantly, I have some insight and inside knowledge a little bit on Usman more than I do on Colby, and he's sometimes when someone's quicker than him is when he tends to get a little bit confused. But if he uses his length well and keeps the clinch long, etc., I think he's going to be just fine. But that's going to be the key is those long like cross-hipped arms in the clinch, using his length wisely. And he does have knockout power that we really haven't seen from Colby, if we're being honest. He's got a couple of KOs, but, you know, when he's fighting higher level guys, I don't think he's ever put anyone really in danger. He's winning the war of attrition. So look for Usman, you know, if I had to pick between the two. And I'm not playing the who I like more game. It's not about that with me at all in that one. But it should be a fun fight nevertheless. Moving on. Oddly, the odds are the same in this fight as they were the last. It's a good joke, right? John Matrix versus Holloway versus Volkanovski is fascinating to me. Max has looked so good at 145 for years now. The Poirier hiccup at 155 aside, but Volkanovski's the style bender. Eugene Berriman camp. Those dudes are killing it. I know they're a little different in the training and schedule and stuff, but they're coming from the same brains. And I think I was first to cover him. Interesting aside, I'm at the point where I'm friends with two of his family members on Facebook. This dude's, you know, I'm obviously kind of rooting for that reason. But when we talk technique, Max is clearly longer, much taller when you see the stare down pick, which I already featured. Volkanovski has much more power, I think. Experience-wise, they're actually not as far apart as you may think, but it's who the competition was, and I think that matters. So, you know, if we didn't learn our lesson from Askren, we should have. But I also think picking against Volkanovski after the way he beat Mendez and the chess match that he won against Aldo, we'll call it, although, you know, obviously Max had his number in a devastating fashion. You can't always go by that either. I think Max sometimes on the scale looks a little terrifying, and Volkanovski looked very confident, and he didn't look like he made that crazy a cut, or maybe it was a slow cut because I know he was heavier before, but I think power-wise the edge goes to Volkanovski and grappling-wise. And I think that may be the difference maker if I had to pick something. So everyone's saying clinch for Usman versus Colby, of course. It's all about the clinch, but they're not explaining why. I think it's because Usman knows how to use his length within the clinch, like he did versus Tyron, and then eventually strike when he is inside with just vicious elbows. He's so powerful and explosive. Volkanovski isn't so different. It's just the opposite way. Although Max is isn't much of a clinch striker. He's more of a distance kind of guy. So Volkanovski's going to have to, use head movement, be defensive on the way in, etc. Just responsible defensively. But that's what he is. I mean, that might be his best attribute, honestly. In the first breakdown I did, that was really the focus of it, was the importance of defense in all facets of the game. Very good at getting up, getting out of scrambles, etc., etc. So I wouldn't be amazed by an upset there at all. But again, I'm partial, and admittedly so, and I love Max. So I just think it's a great fight. I think this card's great. In fact, moving on again, we have the champ in the women's world, Amanda Nunes versus Germaine Durandamy. That one's not easy to say. How does anyone see Amanda losing this? I know Germaine is a very, very polished and technical striker, but so was Holly Holm, and I got kind of annoyed with the dismissal of Amanda almost in the lead up to that one. Amanda's just torching everyone, including Cyborg, which we shouldn't forget, because that was the most terrifying fighter in the world, really. And if it was a pound for pound terrifying list, when she explained how she beat Holly and the thought that went into that, watching for the Chaspas kick, you most likely, that's great English, Bren. Call it an oblique kick, but that's not the name of it. As much as I love Joseph, so I'm gonna go with Amanda in this, regardless of the odds, regardless of whatever. I think she's a very well thought out fighter. She's incredible, and I just haven't been that impressed by Durandamy yet. There's just levels, and I think Amanda's right now the highest level of female mixed martial artists on the planet, and the proof is in her resume, clearly. Yeah, so next up we got Aldo versus Moraes. So this one, did anyone happen to see the week leading up to and or today's scale? If not, I provided a picture. This fight's intriguing to me in a lot of ways. Jose did make weight, by the way. Spoiler alert, if you were waiting to find that out somehow. That'd be kind of ridiculous. Speed-wise, they're look at how similarly built they were, right? That's part of it. Speed-wise is fairly even. I think Moraes probably has a power edge, maybe. I think they both are in the same bracket of cardio question marks. But that right there, Jose Aldo looks like he looks like not Palpatine. He looks like that Snoke guy from the new Star Wars. He looks off. I mean, doesn't look like a good cut. Made it. He's smiling, but is it for the camera? I don't know. In that fight, I'm gonna go with Moraes, only because that looks so unhealthy to me. Via knockout, maybe in the second round. I feel comfortable with that pick, and I like his coaches, and I don't know. He's just got more to win. And lastly, another person I think I was first to the rodeo with is Mr. Peter Yan, who I admire quite a bit. Though, admittedly, I think the odds are a little crazy at minus 500 over one of the better fighters that never has won a title, him, Cowboy, as far as resume and the people they've fought and years in the sport, etc. But am I the only one that's kind of tired of Faber? I don't know. So, stylistically, technically, Peter Yan is his boxing is savagery. I covered him quite a while back, and I saw a lot of things I liked. He's extremely quick and powerful for that size, especially that weight class anyway. Faber has just been around, and we know the song, we know the story, and it's the same old dance for sure. I think Jan even has a grappling advantage, believe it or not, in an MMA context. I know Uriah's straight wrestling, straight jiu-jitsu, straight this is, whatever. But Jan in an MMA context when striking is involved, etc. is better. I just think he's kind of better everywhere. Now, could something land flush Uriah Faber style so that we have to hear about it for the next year? Yeah, absolutely, and it probably will, just knowing how the MMA gods have been lately. But I wouldn't bet on it because I hate the odds, but I think it's Jan's to lose. So anyway, hope you enjoy. Check out my Patreon. I got a Teespring I just put together, and that's about all I got to plug for now. I'm gonna put together a playlist, just UFC 245, and hopefully y'all dig it because I've covered, I think, just about every fighter on this card. Enjoy. Cheers.